No. It certainly does, but yeah.
Shoot 'em up like the Western days. Riding off in the sunset, call me Zorro. Guitar case full of guns like Desperado. Taking shots of tequila straight out the bottle. Nigga, don't make me have to use my Rilo. I hit hard like Pablo. I run with coyotes. These niggas head rolling like bowling. They say their hands quicker than the eyes. Don't be surprised. It's the wild, wild west. No Jim West. Only bulletproof vest. Where you can catch one in your chin in your chest, leg in your neck. A dirt road where you laying on your back. Hoping it.
I would love to go on one of these for a whole day. Down the rivers. Very relaxing.
Oh, we had a great week. Oh, the trouble we got in.
Did your boat have faults?
Well, no, we booked a boat like that because we had Nana with us, my mum with us.
And I'm glad I can share
and that's what we chose, a boat like that.
In my Canal boat diaries.
But when we went to collect it, the people that had it before us hadn't bought it back. So they gave us...
a lot of people do think it's very cheap or even free to just live on a boat. It's not at all, it's quite expensive.
I can't imagine the fuel costs. Especially a journey like this one he's doing.
Yeah, well, not only that, but I mean, there are boundaries. You sometimes have to pay a fee to go through one lock or another lock.
£50 fuel fee
That's cheap.
most of the time.
A lot of the time you need living on a narrowboat is spent on moving it around.
Then you have to go into a certain
You've got to
place.
keep maintained and everything else.
You have to go to a special place to empty your toilet.
Yeah, of course.
And that charges, you know.
This reminds me of the first night I spent on board my boat. I just got out of the water, and then something went wrong with the throttle, so I had a spare one, and I replaced that one whilst it was chucking down with rain and there was a thunderstorm going on. I love it. Who needs TV, eh? Just sit out and watch thunderstorms.
We had all...
Plans were thwarted by passionate campaigners.
More locks.
I've got boats behind me, I've got boats in front of me. We're all trying to get through these locks.
Nice blue one.
We're all jostling for space, trying not to crash into anything.
Bit of traffic jam going through there, isn't it?
Well, I've made it here at Kingswood Junction. I've taken on a part of the longest river in the country,
Hey.
50 miles of canal on 84 locks. And I've even fallen
84 locks, just like one day he went through.
Didn't think I was going to do. Press the open button until bridge is fully open. Here we go. Got to run back to my boat, get on it, get through before any angry people shout at me for leaving the bridge open. Lift bridges can be a real pain for motorists and narrowboaters at the same time, because this is where the two worlds collide, and for my part in this, I need to get through the bridge as quick as possible so that I don't keep anyone waiting. Well, I am actually keeping someone waiting, so let's get this bridge closed quickly for them. Stop the flow between the connecting waterways using wooden gates that moved vertically
Oh, God.
in an iron frame. Today, the lock remains open for boaters.
It's just there, just preserves its history. Stays there static now, doesn't move anymore.
Is turn your navigation.
That's a long tunnel.
I can see from the boat ahead of me that's coming this way and there is another boat coming out of the tunnel.
I would say it's just about wide enough for two boats to fit through there.
It's good fun, but much in the same way as it's good fun to watch a horror movie. You're going into this long, deep, dark, wet tunnel. You're not sure what drips down the back of your neck. Is it water? Is it a spider?
Oh,
It's quite exciting and scary, and I love it.
Bit nerve-wracking, isn't it? Actually.
I can still see the light of the other boat, but it is quite far away. Or is it quite close? I have no idea. Oh yeah.
Oh God,
it's a big one.
that's a barge.
Right, there's a commercial one, isn't it?
That's a barge canal boat. Transport coal or whatever.
The ventilation shafts were also the construction shafts used to remove earth and rock while the tunnel was being dug. Cheers, see ya.
Oh, that barge there, that
All
that
going so well.
that keeps the canals from build up.
What happened?
So he was pulling the boat in to moor it up, and something must have made him go and bounce. He fell in. Like it's not too deep, is it?
Nice after a long day of working the locks.
Lucky he didn't lose his glasses and everything.
Oh dear.
Well, you're not a boat until you've actually fallen in.
That has happened, didn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, soaked.
Sometime that had to happen. A reservoir for 5,000 locks or something.
Just to the side of this bridge, it's a tiny big reservoir, I'm told, is meant to fill 5,000 locks. And it's still used today to supply this canal.
I still didn't hear what he said.
Meant to fill 5,000 locks of water supply. $30 locks.
Hmm.
Well,
One after the other.
this flight of locks that I'm coming to now is it for boaters. This is the greatest challenge that you can ever face. 30 locks.
Greatest challenge on your own, I would think.
Without stopping. Here we go.
He's turning the handle.
Tiny big bottom lock down. One down, 29 to go. There are no overnight moorings on the flight, but there are plenty of places to take a breather. And next to this lock, there's free fruit on offer. It's all about spotting opportunities as you're travelling along. I haven't got much food on board, but I've just seen a plum tree, so I've got my bowl with me as well as my windlass this time. Right, let's just see how many I can pick for lunch later on. In my 5 years of cruising around the UK, living in this boat, I've not been tempted to put down roots anywhere, except maybe where my girlfriend lives. I'd like to spend more time with my girlfriend and her daughter, really.
So it must be difficult to moor up a boat whenever you want to get time to spend time with your family and that then.
But we try to see each other as much as possible.
That must be difficult.
We're going to take a holiday together, so I need somewhere to put my boat.
It's not like shutting the front door and walking out, is it?
Found the perfect mooring for my boat. It's in a lovely spot in the middle of nowhere, but yet close to other boats and the road. So it seems ideal. I don't think I'm going to be troubling anyone here anyway. The only problem is, it's a little bit overgrown and I'm just trying to hack back some of these reeds with my trusty
Can you
shears.
imagine Grandad standing in nettles, holding the two ropes?
Leaving your boat can be really worrying. Will the windows be smashed in?
Yeah.
Will the items stolen? Will someone have taken it for a joyride? You just don't know until you get back and open up those doors again. Or the Royalists in the Battle of Worcester. Factories in Blackpool and Bourneville. When you arrive into a city from being in the middle of nowhere, it can feel a little bit awkward. But doing it with someone else, arriving with another narrowboat, does take the pressure off, especially if there's loads of onlookers. Wow, just turned the corner of the river and suddenly Worcester comes into view. Quite impressive. All the bridges going across, the cathedral. What a way to see the city. I've visited Worcester before by road, by rail. Never done it by river, but this is the way. This is the way.
Canal lock tips, eh?
We had a book
I've picked up some
that
top
told us
tips
where the locks are coming and which side to go
They
on.
know their patch, and river locks can be a bit daunting.
And what's he got to
for
say?
Experienced boaters. What are the dangers of being in a lock like this?
Anywhere with water, and obviously in an enclosed space where you've got boats that are heavy. If someone goes in, you can be trapped between the boat and the wall. There's a lot of things that could go wrong, but they won't. You'll be fine.
Okay. As long as I listen to you, make sure I'm following instructions. What do we do with this rope? Tie it round. These locks are huge, so you have got to pay them a little bit of respect. Definitely follow what the lockkeeper tells you to do.
Chris stood on the boat one day and nearly fell off between the wall and the boat. Typical of him.
Right. I have to straighten
Is what?
myself a little bit. I feel really
8,
stupid
9, I
because
suppose.
the lockkeeper did tell me, watch out, don't fall between the boat and the wall, and did just that. Straight there. So all I need to do is keep it clean.
Clean it because he got all the fungus on there.
How did you manage that?
I was tying that and I just slipped down and my shin kicked my shin in and just did that on the wall. Wake as they go past. Let's have a look at this one. Whee!
There it goes. You see him start moving in a minute.
Going too fast, and that has sent my boat a little bit wobbly.
They're not supposed to go more than 4 miles an hour.
Big river. And this is the longest river in the UK, 220 miles.
Longest river in the whole UK.
Well, that goes in the middle of the White.
Yep.
All right.
Here we go, bye-bye Canal. Hello river. At Bunbury Locks, I've got about 12 miles to go on this leg. I'll be going through Nantwich, a market town famous for its medieval timber frame buildings, before resting up in the village of Audlem.
A tip about the boat.
For me, I was not really interested in committing to a mortgage. I didn't know where my next paycheck was going to come from, so there's no way I could have even thought about getting onto the housing ladder. And the narrowboat idea sort of crept up out of nowhere, really, but it soon became a reality that I could follow.
There you go. There's your reason why it's a canal boat.
At Barbridge Junction, the Middlewich branch joins the main line of the Shropshire Union. Along this stretch, there's some great canal side architecture, like this junction house. Most likely built for someone in authority, as it's much grander than a lockkeeper's cottage.
It's fascinating, this, isn't it?
I used to watch
So I like things like this.
Timothy West and Pernilla Scales used to do a series of this.
Oh, on the canal boat, yeah.
Yeah, but then she got dementia and they don't do it anymore.
Oh, moored up, very foggy.
Got absolutely no mobile signal where I am right now. Nothing. I can't make any calls, text messages,
God.
can't use the internet. But that is actually the best thing that could have happened to me, because I've just been getting on with so many jobs. I've been sanding and varnishing the front of the boat. I've been just giving it a good old clear out. And I'm not checking social media every 10 seconds. It's brilliant. Quite busy here. I've been out in the middle of nowhere. It's just really nice to come back and see all the boaters. Thomas Telford's cast iron aqueduct is known as the gateway to Nantwich. It's from the golden age of canal building during the Industrial Revolution.
Of course, yeah.
Here I am in Nantwich. Problem is, about 20 minutes walk from the canal to the town centre.
This is the problem,
so it's a
the
40-minute
canals
round
are out in the
just to
middle
get
of
some food.
nowhere.
I mean,
We need to get food in that, obviously.
this is how it works as a continuous cruiser. Some moorings are 14 days, some are much less, 48 hours, for example. But the one thing you've got to do is not take the mickey. You've just got to keep moving and not overstay.
And how much fuel do you go through for the boat? From A to B? I wouldn't want to think how much that costs as well.
This is Hack Green. In the 50s, the government
His
built
journey
secret nuclear
It's about 3 or 4 weeks at a time. From A to B.
It's not so secret anymore. In fact, it's a Cold War museum.
There's a plane
But I'm
there.
not going to stop today.
Cold War Museum.
And just want to carry on down this canal.
How cool, that's narrow.
Yeah. But flip me.
For the best part of a century, horse-drawn flyboats worked this route through Ordler,
That's the old historical
running
crane.
non-stop, day and night. They were the express delivery service of their day, often carrying perishable goods like dairy products.
A lot of boat owners, when they're on their own, like he is,
There's
they have a
evidence from
dog.
this era everywhere.
So when they're sleeping at night, if anybody tries to get on the boat or anything like that, the dog
Of course, yeah.
wakes up.
This is a rubbing strip that was
But
used
he's got nothing.
to
He
protect
hasn't
the
got
bridge
one, has he?
from all the ropes that would be tied from the horse to the boats back in the horse-drawn days. That's decades of wet, gritty, muddy ropes just really getting in there and creating these notches.
Well, horses used to pull the canal boats. Yeah.
Yeah.
When they used to hold coal.
You can still go on a narrow boat and be pulled by horse
It'd take
on
them
days out and that.
approximately 34 hours to get from Ellesmere Port down to Birmingham. They must have earned their money because it's hard work. Whew. This is the last lock of the Orland flight. It's been quite a journey. It's absolutely
It's
flown
another
by
narrow
me.
one, isn't it?
35 miles, 30 locks. The most blanket weed I've ever had to take out of my weed hatch. Some incredible remote. Just cruising through Crystal.
Down there, ducks.
We used to have swans tapping the boat in the morning, wanting some tidbits. The pair of swans and their cygnets tap, 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 tap on the boat every morning. Then Chris was fishing one day off of the boat, and the swan went underneath his line and got the line round its neck. The swan got out of the water further on. Chris goes running up, and there's fella moaning about this swan getting caught up in fishermen's lines, and why didn't fishermen look after their lines? Chris walked up and said, "Can I have my line back, please?" Your mum was sitting on a...
This is the engine bay. It's where I've got my engine, my Liston ST2. It's a 2-cylinder engine. I've just been checking the oil
You
there.
sure this isn't Piglet?
Here on my bed you can see that this is where I dump a lot of stuff that comes out of the engine room. So you'll have to forgive the mess. There's those shelves. I've still got to put those shelves up. Going through here into the galley, I do have hot water piped in, and that comes from a combi boiler, just hidden in this cupboard here. One thing that I've definitely tried to keep on my boat is all the traditional fittings. As much as I can, I've kept this boat as it was, with little nods to its past. And at the bow, at the front of the boat, I've got a stove, trusty stove, and out the front there's my crutch area that I've got a really smart new cover on. If only I can get the rest of the boat looking a bit better. Perhaps that will happen at a later stage. Oh, the kettle's going. Ah. Make a cup of tea.
Northern cup of tea.
On this leg of the journey, I'm sitting
One of the memories I had of Grandad when we had this cruiser boat, it was getting dark, we needed to moor up. So the only place we could find was a bank covered in stinging nettles. So Grandad jumped off because he had trousers on. He's holding a rope one end and a rope the other end. And then I had to try and get off to hammer the ropes into the bank. Oh dear. We had some laughs.
It sounded very funny.
We could have written a book for that week. Nana was holding the boat in. It was windy, so
Christ.
Elf got hold of the rope at the front and banged it into the bank. I got hold of the one at the back. The wind was still moving the boat. Nana said, "I'll hold it with the boat hook." She's holding the boat, with this boat hook, and it came off. She went up in the air.
Oh God!
All her knickers showing.
So she went flying when she pulled it out of the when it was stuck.
It slipped off the boat, and she. Oh dear. Then there was the time when we finished up in the middle of the river because the mooring ropes had come out because we'd had so much rain, the ground was too soft. Then we thought we were following somebody into a lock, and we weren't. We were following them into the toilets.
For many weeks, movement on the canals has been restricted because of the coronavirus lockdown. Around here, I'm one of the first boaters back on the water. And it seems
And
I'm forced
Chris
to fight
and
my
your
way
mum slept on bunk beds up in the bow like that.
Into the hall, there's so much wind wrapped around the propeller, so I've just got to pull in see what's down the hatch.
Ugh.
It's quite compact. I'm needing to saw through it. Another danger I've got here is I'm actually pulling out quite a lot of water and it's collecting in the bottom of the boat. So that's not a good thing. You don't want that to happen.
Oh, he's sucked weed into the
Right, what we're
engine.
going to do now is something
No one's been.
strictly
This was filmed during
start the engine.
COVID, so
We're going to rotate the propeller just a little bit. Just to
no one's been using those. No one's been using those water for some time. So obviously all that weed is all built up on the water.
Mm.
with the weed hatch open, a spinning propeller can potentially flood your boat. Thankfully,
Oh,
one turn
God.
does the trick, releasing the
Look at
weed,
that. Oh,
and there's plenty of it.
it's like a blanket, isn't it? Now, if that had happened to Grandad and me, we wouldn't have known what to do about it.
Nightmarish weed untangling, there's at least some little magical moments, like a little visit from this little fish here. Hello. Some people buying our boat aren't thinking what the reality actually is. It's not for the faint-hearted. As I reach Chester, there's less blanket.
Now it's in Chester.
Mm.
Which is a relief.
Cleveland's not far from Chester.
This is one of the oldest
Yeah, I know.
and most complete working canal side yards in the country. It's built in 1795, but it's still being used today. Incredible. There's loads of other boats underneath that covering being worked on. It's fascinating.
So you say it's COVID, that's why there's not many people around.
Yeah.
This is my next
But it's a
step.
series too. So this is filmed probably like 2022 or something like that, or 21.
Did you say it was COVID then?
Yep.
How you knew?
Three
Yep.
blocks here, all joined together.
There's 5 series of this, and I've only been obviously watching from the start.
Now, when these were built in the 1770s, there's actually the deepest locks in the country, and even today seem pretty daunting. But here we go.
Oh, these locks are state of the art, aren't they?
Mm. And you think they're in water all the time and they've still survived?
It's amazing.
I've let too much water in from the pound above. Sheer force of the water that's spilling down from the top of the lock over the lock gates themselves. I'm just really hoping that I don't get any water in the front of the boat. Because once that happens, the boat fills with water. Game over.
Don't want that, do you?
Right, we're at the bottom of this lock.
Yeah.
So what's he gone backwards again out the way?
Well, yeah. Put it back as far as you can. Away from it, look.
Well, that's one way to fill up a lock, isn't it? Thankfully, all is well, apart from a soggy toe path.
Nice tow path
This is one of
there.
the most remarkable landmarks as you're passing through Chester as a narrowboater, and it's this bridge here, this the Slim Bridge, that was connected between a chapel and Northgate Prison. It's only meant to be a temporary structure, built in 1793, but it's just lasted that long. Incredible. Chester's Roman walls climbed to their greatest height as the canal entered a deep cutting. The Shropshire Union could be mistaken for a moat, and that's what it once was, as canal engineers took advantage of this former defensive channel. Just wander around the city, it's just absolutely incredible. You can find yourself in the medieval shopping rows, the impressive looking Eastgate clock, and my personal favourite,
And the two-tier
walls
shops.
behind me here.
Now there was a model shop in a town very similar to that, and that could well have been.
A lot of their shops are on 2 tiers.
Yeah.